Time to paint Edward Dewey from the Resident Evil Boardgame by Steamforged Games. Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'll be painting up the final S.T.A.R.S member of S.T.A.R.S Bravo team, and that is Edward Dewey. He doesn't make an appearance in the first original Resident Evil game, but he does appear in Resident Evil 0. But he is a crucial part of the team, like anyone else. But he does, unfortunately, meet his demise. So it is time to paint him up. Before we get started, he was... well, before we get into that, if you would like to support my channel, or if you would like to see any other models remaining from the Resident Evil board game, be it any of the bosses or alternate sculpts or alternate costumes or even some of the other monsters, I do have a PayPal linked in the description. Yeah, any donation there will go into improving the quality of this channel. So without further ado, let's get into painting Edward Dewey. He was scrubbed with warm soapy water and a toothbrush. That's to get any release mould agent off. If you don't do this, paint can easily rub off them with use, so I highly advise getting rid of that. And then he was undercoated in Army Painter Brain Matter Beige. So let's get into it. So the first step, we're going to go in with skin tones. So here we're going to go in with Kislev Flesh. This tends to be my go-to now, after doing a bit of trial and error for a little while. I like the way these skin tones turn out when painting this way. So it'll probably need two coats, but don't forget the fingers on the gloves. Both parts of the arms underneath the bandage. He's got a few wounds on him, and his face. I'll get them done and we'll be back. Next up, we're going to go in with Administratum Grey, and this is going to go into painting his bulletproof vest, because in the artwork it looks a little bit purplish, so I'll be using a contrast paint later to sort of shade it. So we want a nice base colour here, so I think Administratum Grey would be a good colour here. So take your time and just get that done. We'll probably need two coats. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. So we're going to go in with Mournfang Brown, and this is going to be for his hair. Nice and simple here. Just try and keep off the previous steps as best as possible, and just take your time and no issues. Next step, he seemingly has some quite dark grey trousers, so for this we're going to use Eshin Grey. Don't worry too much about going over onto the pouches because they're going to be black. So just get this on, just try not to get any on the jacket above. This will probably need two coats. Yeah, but just take your time again when coming up to the close bits there and get it all filled in. Okay, next up we're going to go in with Grey Seer, and this is for the sleeves. There's not going to be much colour difference here to start with, but when we get further down the road there will be. So just fill that in as best you can, staying away from the skin as best as possible, like so, and this side as well, like that. Next we want to go in with Usabti Bone, and this is going to be for his bandage on his arm. I'm assuming it's a bandage. It looks like a bandage, so I'm painting it up as a bandage. Like so. Next step, we are going to go Kantor Blue, and this is going to be for the badge on his shoulder, on his sleeve even. Nice easy step here. So final base colour, we're going to, well, second to final base colour, we're going to go in with Black Legion, and this is going to be for the gun, the gloves, the belts, any pouches. I don't think he's got any pouches, but and his boots. So here's boots, his gloves, his gun, and very carefully his belts around his waist, holding up his trousers. I'll get that done over that. And final part of the base coat is Leadbelcher, and this is going to be for the back of the hands and any belt buckles. So these bits on the hands and also the watch face, like that, back of the hand, and any belt buckles like there, and one under here, and this one here. There. So that's pretty much all the base coat's done on him. So what you want to do now is go back through all the base colours again and just tidy it up so it's nice and ready for when you want to wash it, or shade it I should say. So yeah, I'm going to go do that now. I'm going to go back over with all the colours and just make it super neat. Okay, so that's Edward been tidied up a bit, and now we're on to the shading phase of this. So our first shade we're going to use is Reikland Fleshshade, and as the name suggests, it's going to go all over the skin, all over his flesh, on his hair as well. Just make sure you give your pots a good shake before use, because these washes are known for becoming very glossy if they're not shaken up properly. I'll get that completed on Edward and we'll be back. Next up is Serephim Sepia, and this is literally just for his bandages. So nice easy step here, nice and quick. I advise waiting for the pots, the paints to dry, but because I'm lazy, well, I'm impatient I should say, I'm just going to slap it on straight away. So next shade is going to be Nuln Oil, and this is for the trousers and the boots. Doesn't matter so much on the blacks, but try and hit the dark greys and the silvers on here. So it's always a good old shake of your pot, and just on the glove like so, on this glove like so. Make sure you get the watch as well, and then all over the trousers like this. Nice and easy. Could be gun ho with this, but just be ever so careful when you come to the edges of the paints. I'll get this done and we'll be back. Nuln Oil on the sleeves as well, and the badge. And final wash is going to be Druchi Violet. Now for this, because in the concept art, or any art you see, his jacket looks sort of purpley grey. So I'm going to thin this down with water, because I want this to only go in the recesses. I don't really want this staining the actual top greys. So water it down and apply it like so. Maybe a bit more pigment. We want it to stain it a little bit, but not too much. Like so. And get this done on all of the jacket, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how the jacket's actually turned out. It's got a nice sort of very pale purpley tint to it. So now we're going to go on to the highlighting phase. So we're going to start off with his eyes. So for this we're going to go in with the Ulthuan Grey, and just take your time with this. We're doing this now so we can correct later when we do the skin tones. So I'm going to do this off camera because it's easier. So what have his eyes done? Next we're going to go in with Black Legion, and this is going to be for the pupils. I'll do that off camera. And there you have it. This is eyeballs done. Next we're going to start going in with Kislev Flesh and start highlighting up the skin. So this is where you can tidy up any mistakes you've made on the eyes. So we want to re-highlight the bridge of the nose, his ears, don't forget his muscles, his fingers as well. Yeah, just take your time and you do just fine. Next we're going to mix in some Flayed One Flesh with the previous colour on our wet palette to get a nice highlight. And this is just going to be focusing on the bridge of the nose, the brow, the top parts of the arm. That's where the light would fall. Fingers, like so. Next up is going to be the hair. So for this we're going to use Mournfang Brown. And yeah, just put in the hair. Like so. There we go. And the final highlight for the hair is Skrag Brown. So use this more as a dry brush. Yeah, just catching the tops and around the back of the head there. Pretty mad here, like that. Okay, so next step is going to be Usabti Bone. And this is to highlight the bandage. Nice and easy here. Like so. That. And then Flayed One Flesh for the highlight on the bandage. Next we're going to go in with the Ulthuan Grey, and this is going to be for his sleeves. Like so. Focusing more on the where the light might fall. Like that. And then P3 Morrow White for the highlight on the sleeves. And this is going to be targeted mostly towards the top and the highest parts of the creases. Like so. That we're going to go back over in the trousers with Eshin Grey, and we're going to cover probably about 90% of what was previously washed, just to bring back that original colour. Obviously trying to leave the Nuln Oil in the recesses where you can. Just take your time here and you should have no issues. Next we want to get Administratum Grey and mix it in with the previous step, the Eshin Grey, to get like a nice mid-tone, like a lighter mid-tone. And just fill that in. Obviously this is going to be more for the raised parts and the sharp bits of the pockets, knees, and any folds. And then finally even more Administratum Grey to the previous mix, just to get the top highlight. We don't want it too bright, so I'm not going in straight in with pure Administratum Grey, because I feel like that would be too bright. But we do want a slight gradual highlight, and this is even more sparingly on the knees, edge of pockets, and the top of folds and creases. Next we're going to use Administratum Grey again, but this is going to be pure. This isn't for the trousers. This is very light highlight of the jacket, and this is literally just going to be like the pinnacle highlights, because I don't want to lose that purpley look. So very fine highlights here. So on the back here, just in the folds, top of that puffy bit, long lines like that. Like that. I'm quite happy with that. Start highlighting the backs. So for this, we're going to go in with a Dark Reaper. Just the rounded parts of the boots and the laces. Then on the gloves, we want to get the rounded part of the glove here, each of the fingers, and same again there. The strap on the watch, and then the straight line bits here on the holster. And then for the belts, we just want a single line along the bottom, so, and along there like that. Okay, I finished and we'll be back. Okay, so next we're going to get a bit more Dark Reaper, well, a bit more Ulthuan Grey, mix it with Dark Reaper, and then we're going to just get a nice highlight here on the edge highlighting, so sort of 50-50 mix of Ulthuan Grey and Dark Reaper for the final highlight. Like so. We get bits on the boots, keep to the outside of the boots, because the inside will be dark anyway, and then on the top of the laces. Like that. And then next we've got Leadbelcher, and this is going to be for any metallics here. So this is just to go back in over the bits on the back of the hands, the watch face, and the way I paint black metallic guns is with a line of Leadbelcher. You can tell it's a weapon. Then any buckles, like so. Now, next we're going to go in with Kantor Blue and just bring back out some of the colour on, so it's not too dark on the badge, like so. And we're going to go P3 Morrow White, and this is going to be for the border, the outline of the badge. So, doesn't have to be perfect. Just get a nice line on there. So, the 3 dots of Averland Sunset for the badge itself to signify the 3 stars. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And finally, we're going to get blood for the blood god and a one of these bristle protectors for on paintbrushes. Stick a bit of sponge inside, and we're going to get some blood for the blood god on the sponge. We'll get a bit of tissue and just dab most of it off, like so. And he's got quite a lot of wounds on him, so we're just gonna really focus around this part of the arm, side of his face, around here, like a stomach wound. Not want too much on his face. Then with a fine brush, we want to sort of actually put some in the actual wound. Just dab it on like that. Just go into your happy here. So just take your time. He's got a head wound there as well. A bit of blood on his hand and side. He's taken one hell of a beating. Just keep going until you're happy. And there you have it, the final member of S.T.A.R.S. Finally finished and painted up. So yeah, that's Edward Dewey of Bravo Team. If you enjoy this video, please leave me a like and subscribe. I also have a PayPal link in the description, so if you would like to donate, please do. And chuck a request in there of any other monsters or alternate sculpts or costumes. I also have Resident Evil 2 and 3 minis, so if you want to see any of them painted up, yeah, just give us a shout and a donation, and I'll be happy to paint one up for you and make a video and paint it up. But yeah, so thanks again for watching, and S.T.A.R.S. are finally complete. Thanks again, and happy painting.